Hi, so today we are going to be folding knitted sweaters using the Marie Kondo's Konmari method. Now, and then the arm has to be folded and not be sticking out. And then the same with the other side. We have it facing down so we can see if there's any patterns or the neckline to help us to differentiate from the other items in there, the drawer, in case we have similar items. Okay, there. So now we have it folded nicely that way. Kind of sticks out weird here. Maybe that's there. And then we bring the waistband to the neckline, and then we're going to fold it once more. And then we're going to do some nice squishing, and it should, yay! And when we see it inside the drawer, we will see that it is V-neck and the colors, and we will know which one we have. A simple one is the crew neck. This one's a little bit more bulky, but similar face down, folding from the neckline and down, folding that sleeve in that line and then on the angle. And then the same with this side to the neckline. If you overlap, if you like to overlap, if that's the width that you want to have it, if you want to have them all uniform, that would be the same width. Waistband to neckline, and then once more. This is going to make it really bulky for this one. So it takes up quite a bit of space width-wise that way, it seems. But if we have a bunch of them in the drawer, it will work together nicely. Okay. Noticeable in the drawer which ones are which. So here comes the difficult ones. The ones that are zip up or have buttons or none. This one here has no buttons and not unraveling on me. Let's see. I might be able to do it the other way. Let's see. If we like it this way. Or, I don't, but if we put that neckline in first, we may just be able to do this. Keeping that down a little bit further since it keeps pulling up through. And it does work. You can tell which one it is. There we are. That works. Woohoo! Here's a really long one. Make sure we fold it this way first in order to make it work. Tucking in our pockets. Maybe these are called cardigans. Ooh, yeah. Extra bulk. I mean, if you know which one it is, then you probably don't have to flip it. But if you have two very similar, one is button up and one isn't or something, because you like similar patterns, then this will help to differentiate. The smoothing really does help it to keep its shape. Since this one is so long, I'm thinking that we might have to go this way with it just to help it keep its shape. So feel free to adjust how you feel necessary and what's going to work for you. Ooh, that's tall. It does stay on its own, but I think we may have to go a little bit further with it. There we are. Make sure you, and that squishing just seems to make it, wow, that's still really tall. Wow. That's interesting. I don't know if I want to do that. Roll it. Kind of a roll, but it's not. Yeah, it is. There, that's closer. It's going to take up a lot of space, but we'll know which one it is. And there's with the turtleneck ones. Just fold that in and have your pattern on the front. So you know where the front is always. Holding those sleeves is important because you don't want them to be rolled up or bulky. Okay, so this one here was more bulky. So I'm going to fold it again so that it's maybe a little bit wider than the neckline. And so that it doesn't stick up quite as high for the drawer. Waistline to neckline, and then once more. If that seems too tall for your drawer, then go ahead and, since this is such a thin part here, go ahead and give it a little extra fold and see if that works better. Not quite. It's every time I try to fold it up, it's going past this neckline, so we're just going to snuggle it up to it, but not too far so that it doesn't go past it. There, and let's see how this looks. Woohoo! So we can see the difference of the ones that are sweaters that have the V-neck. We can choose to put them all facing the same way. The V-neck and the interesting neck here difference. Just having that show up top helps us determine which ones are which. We also can see that this has the folded over one. These kind of have a little seam in them, so you can tell that those are the folded over if you chose not to do it this way. And so a couple extra bonus tips to save you. No, let's see. You know, I can move them around quite easily because they're all, I can squish them a little extra if I need to make them work. So the reason why we are folding inwards towards the neckline is you might be tempted that this is the way you've always done it. So you want to do it this way. And you think, oh, that should work just as good. This one here actually does seem to do pretty good. And you could do it that way too. Quite often though, if they are sweaters with this style, that are just, you know, shrugs you put on quickly, you may end up having it really thick on this side and then thin on this side. So it's bulky, it won't want to stay together, it won't seem finished, it won't hold its shape as easily. So make sure then that you do it the opposite way. And quite often the opposite way will have you wrinkling one of these. And so that can make it very difficult as well. If you're folding it, you'll see that where I have it folded, this is going to be a weird wrinkle and it's going to maintain that shape. So that would be why folding it this way does make a difference, and it stops all that extra wrinkling and those problems. And you could fold it this way too if you wanted to keep it all tucked inside nicely. And there you have it. And here's our, you can put them in one by one. I can put them in a few at a time. And I can put them in there. This shows that I can move them in and out of the drawer very simply and easily. Don't have a lot of extra work to do. I can rearrange how I like. Shove these all over. Put the new one in. Not much extra effort. And use it very simply, easily. Makes life a whole lot easier. Your drawers will be under control a lot easier. And you won't have the worry of pulling something out and making the whole drawer a mess. It still looks nice and neat and tidy. Give me a thumbs up if this works for you. Leave a comment, subscribe if you would like to see more of my folding Friday.